Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Dare I say rocking and rolling. Can you believe?
I'm going to channel that energy today. I do. And I think it's good. It's strong energy that's necessary because when folks are listening to this, most places in the U.S. will be an hour forward. So we really want to wake you up this morning.
Oh, fuck.
I'm so sorry to bring this.
God damn it.
I'm so sorry to tell you on air that we are unfortunately still changing times.
What the fuck, guys? Can we figure that out, please? Because, I'm sick and tired of it.
It's literally, they said 2 years ago that we were done,
right.
And all it needed to do was pass one of the congressional houses.
Right.
But they've just been like, what if we try to tank the economy
instead? That'd be more fun.
What if every month we're worried that the government will shut down? So we can't give you
now I'm
one
upset.
thing. I know, I'm so sorry. But the mornings are really tough, right? The mornings suck, but I would kill for another hour of daylight right now. So
That's true. We do need this.
It's the one in November that always fucks with me.
It feels like it's going to be nice because you're like, ooh, I can sleep in. No, bitch.
No.
You're going to be...
You're going to go to bed at 4
That's how they get you.
There are a lot of things in this world that frustrate me, but I usually project them all onto daylight savings.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, most of the time, valid.
Yeah.
Right. This is why I'm like this.
Speaking of being like this, hello. Welcome into the Twilight.
Oh. Hey.
How are you?
I'm here. I'm now just a little bit angrier than I was.
I'm so sorry.
A few moments ago. It's okay. I needed to know this. I'm here. I'm alive. I have a very strange, happy thing today.
Okay.
So I was like, what have I enjoyed lately, right? And I would say I did enjoy this, but I don't know if it was for the reasons that were intended.
I'm so nervous.
I want to talk about the wild new Jennifer Lopez album movie.
Oh my god. Okay.
Called This Is Me, ... now. And then also, so she put that out, and then also weeks later put out a complimentary documentary.
I'm so glad that you took one for the team, because the only thing that I've seen about I've seen two things about this whole situation. One, that it was supposed to be secret about these letters that Ben gave her, and then she was like, but what if I make content? And then I saw one screenshot from the movie, question mark, where there are zodiac signs. And I was like, I'm interested, but not enough to watch this.
Listen, it's a journey. I feel like I took the red pill and I can never see the world the same way again.
It's a distinct situation.
My life is, it was before This Is Me Now and after This Is Me Now.
Be J.Lo
and
J.Lo.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it's fucking wild, and she talks about it in the document, and also Ben Affleck is in it a lot because they're in love with each other or whatever. Sometimes you want a gay boyfriend, and that's okay, right? That's fine.
That is everything that we talk about on Into the Twilight,
right?
So
right, yeah,
she's not wrong.
That's the dynamic, and she's so real for that,
right?
But he famously comments on it being all of these letters and stuff, and he was, because she had them all or he gave it to her in all of this big binder printed out, being the greatest love story never told, whatever.
And I want to dog on him for that, but it's so real,
No, it's real and cute as fuck.
The things you do when you're in love are not fair and don't represent you as a person, because you are so down bad. And I understand. I get it, Ben.
Right. And then J.Lo was like, okay, sick binder, thank you. I'm needing inspiration for music. I'm just gonna leave this in the recording booth and let everyone who touches any of my songs just go through it and just get some stuff there.
No, I did not know that. No.
The actual movie itself is just a fever dream of J.Lo going through all of her relationships and finding love for herself, and it's also like apocalyptic question mark. Like, she's working in a factory. There's also this like big glass house she lives in, and then like the Zodiac stuff. We got a gaggle of celebrities. We got Jane Fonda.
No.
We got Neil deGrasse Tyson. We got Kim Petras. Post Malone is there.
They just all needed royalties. Was this made during the strike? Was that why?
No, literally. That's my crackpot theory is like, and also she self-funded this herself because everyone said no to giving her funding.
So it was definitely strike art. Got it.
Yeah. But it's a fever dream. It's a nightmare. It's beautiful and poetic. And it's quintessentially J.Lo.
Is it? I know her other movie from like 3 years ago.
Marry Me, honestly, uncritically, slaps. That movie was very
was great. I have no
Marry Me
complaints
fucking
about
rips.
Marry Me.
It was fun
But
as
what
fuck.
that tells me, Cody, is that Marry Me had writers.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And this did not. So she probably put it into ChatGPT and then made it. I hate when you do this because now it's like, oh, what am I going to do on my Saturday night? Oh, I'm going to watch essentially like a Peanuts movie length from J.Lo and then the companion fucking Target exclusive documentary. Because of course I am.
Listen, you got to shake it up a little bit. You know, you got to have some curiosity. And that's what life is all about. It's the spice of life.
I know.
You know?
I know.
Just shut your mind off for maximum 2 hours and just really embrace yourself in the live, laugh, love of J.Lo. You know what I mean?
Which that's so real because like live, laugh, low is my state of mind.
But that's been my sleep paralysis demon.
Right.
Is the spirit and ghost of J.Lo. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm really bringing the chaser into this.
Absolutely.
I'm alive. I'm saying this now, but on Monday I might be very tired, so we'll see.
Right, TBD on both of our mental states.
You know, it's like my seasonal affective disorder is ending, but at what cost, you know?
Yeah.
I am bringing something today that made me cry and was also nostalgic. And it is the documentary that premiered 2 years ago and is now coming to theaters near you, Butterfly in the Sky.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this was premiered 2 years ago at Tribeca. Mm-hmm. And now is having a full like AMC release, which is great. But this is, of course, the story about Reading Rainbow.
Ugh, yes.
And
let's go.
I didn't realize how much I needed this until I watched, it's like a 90-second trailer, where they're not talking about just like LeVar, and they're not really talking just about PBS, but it's like, how did this beautiful thing, this lightning in a bottle, get made at this time?
Right.
And it is, it's so important to me. And I think that something that I'm noticing is that a lot of children right now don't have quality PBS content like we did.
Yeah, right.
And that's painful for me to think about because like this show made me love reading. You know, like the Hooked on Phonics, the Sesame Street, like there was such a desire to make people not only learn to read but specifically love reading.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, even now I hold such an affinity for Reading Rainbow. But it is painful to know that there's, like what is the it's not even Gen Alpha anymore, maybe. But, like, what's their leapfrog?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What I would give, I couldn't afford a leapfrog growing up, but, like, what I would give to have a leapfrog now.
Oh, yeah, literally. Just put in my hands like a
powerful.
little switch.
So I'm very grateful. I'm excited to see this. Hopefully after they do their like theater run, it'll be online somewhere that I can watch it. But I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to have had this in my life.
Hell yeah.
And I'm very excited about it.
Excited. And of course, obviously the LeVar Burton of it all and him getting so fucked publicly in the last few years and getting dicked around. It's like, hell yeah, he's been here.
And he knows it. Like, this isn't his first go-around.
He doesn't need Jeopardy or whatever or anything. Like, he's the man.
The thing that frustrates me about LeVar Burton is he's been hot his whole life.
Dude, it's so fucked
How
up.
is that?
It's so
What
twisted.
is that? Like, I know distinctly, like, looking at Reading Rainbow in the 90s to LeVar Burton now, like, that is a different person who has aged, right? But they're both hot, and that's really fucked up.
Right. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be allowed.
So I'm very grateful. Thank you, LeVar Burton, for being... LeVar was like my Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers scared and scares me still.
Currently?
Currently, still, something about it. Listen, I know you all love him. I know that you grew up with him. Something about him and those fucking puppets scared the shit out of me as a kid. And I can't go back and see if it's changed. But thank you, LeVar, for being great. I am always shocked, Cody, when the current events that we talk about on the show, which are not, they are current, but they're not current events. Yeah. When those make it to other platforms, like Twitter and TikTok, of like people who are not Twilight TM creators, it always shocks me a little bit. Yeah,
this one has definitely left the bubble.
It has indeed left the bubble. Could you tell the class about our current event this week?
This is from Deadline. Thank you to Nelly for whipping this up. And this is technically an update, because we have talked about this before, of the idea of Lionsgate shopping a Twilight TV show. And we, I don't know, a couple months ago that we were talking about this, that this was like a thing they were thinking of, but like there were no details. We had no idea if it was even going to make it to production or whatever.
Some might even say a year. I think it's been a year.
Probably closer to a year for sure. But we have more information now, and the gag is it's allegedly going to be animated, and that's how it was conceived from the very beginning when they were first having these conversations.
So fuck me, I guess.
So fuck us, I guess. Now
So here's the thing. This article in general is like a whiplash because it's John Wick and then a screenshot from Twilight.
Inside you there are two wolves, you know?
No, literally. Are you going to be Kiana today or are you going to be Kristen? Who's to say?
Right, yeah.
But it makes sense because Peacock is like, do you want to watch all of reality TV? Great. This is the home for you. Do you also want prequel content from John Wick? Apparently that's our shit too. So it makes sense why they're together. It's just a little bit jarring.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of people talking about this.
Right.
I don't think it is a bad idea.
Right.
On paper.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to do a remake, at least yet. The information is not too far gone. So I get it. They don't want to have to cast new people. My question for you is, when they think animated, do you think it's going to be like the graphic novels? Is it in that art style?
I think that's the real make or break it, right? Because, like, I think this is fun. This is a fun idea. If they go full anime. Like, if they I want a Twilight anime so bad.
They gotta lean into it like the graphic novels did.
The material is there, right? Of, like, you can do so many more things even than you could within the film's adaptations of the vampireness of it all, the fight choreo, the goofy little asides, even? The tiny, like, even just, like, Edward's, like thoughts every single second of being like, keep it cool. Like, that's such a fun anime play that you could do. And the graphic novel style is beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. It's so funny to me.
It's not my ministry, but Young Kim, who at least did the first graphic novel, it's popped up. Like, I remember when people started getting these in 2012. They were very popular.
Absolutely. I think they just need to lean into it. If it's just, like, animated, like Disney animated or like 3D animated, I think it's not gonna be very fun personally, as it could be if they just fully went into the the Yuri of it all.
No, literally, like Don Draper at the Lionsgate offices, and he has his big old whiteboard, and it says we need to, like, the purpose of this meeting is how do we beat out One Piece? All these kids, they're fucking talking about One Piece. How do we beat that? And it's like, it says Twilight One Piece on it. And the Lionsgate Don Draper is like, now hear me out. We're going to make this not just one season, but we're going to make this for the next 30 years. Going on these books.
Oh, that's the fucking thing, right? Like, it needs to be One Piece, it needs to be Naruto, it needs to be going on for 500 episodes.
Exactly.
And just go into all the hijinks and hoodwinks that we could get. And then Stephanie Meyer doesn't have to write any of these books that she's threatening to write.
Right, exactly.
For
this will give her money.
Right.
And she can take that fucking creative energy and go to the polls or something. Like, I don't know. Like, don't let her open up a Word document on her device. We've got all the material.
She's born to make an anime. This is what she needs to do now. This is her life path.
I've seen a lot of people being surprised, and they need to fucking remember their roots. Stephanie Meyer has always been, what is it, a weebo? What is that?
Yeah, but
she's
just weeb is fine.
Just a weeb. She's always been this has always been her brand.
Right.
So don't be shocked when she goes back to her roots, because she's a fucking empty nester now, and she needs comfort in anime.
You're telling me this woman has never made an AMV set to My Chemical Romance?
No, literally.
Look me in the eyes and tell me you think that's not true. With your heart in your heart of hearts.
Her fucking Wattpad and see all of the things that she's left likes on. It's never changed.
No.
On paper, I don't hate this.
Yeah.
I don't hate this idea. We've been excited for a television show for a while. Here's the thing, Cody. Season 12 of this, for us, are we anime people now? Are we going to be watching this show?
I mean, yeah, in like 10 years when it comes out, sure. If we're still doing this, absolutely.
It's just like, no, honey, I can't go to the retirement home because my house is retrofitted with a podcast studio. I have to watch season 30 of this Twilight anime.
You don't understand. It's really important.
Honey, I'm so sorry I didn't make your high school graduation. You're my favorite grandchild. I have to release this episode right away.
Yeah, I gotta stand on business. You know what I mean? That's what I gotta do. I'm on the grind.
I need to know more, but right now I don't hate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me more details is essentially what I'm asking Lionsgate of.
Oh my god.
So 4 months ago, when we recorded season 1, episode 22, for the Vampire Diaries, because of course, if they took a 4-month break, we have to too, right? Here's what I remember about Founders Day. Everything was bad.
Yeah. Nobody was
Nothing
having
was
fun.
good.
Nothing was good.
A lot of people died. There was a dog whistle, and not like slurs, like a literal dog whistle.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not great. And also Damon kissed Elena in quotes.
Right. Wink, wink.
Which is important. Right.
But
so here's the thing. This episode, right? Season 2, episode 1, The Return. Mm-hmm. I apologize for knowing too much about CW TV that I did clock.
Yeah. You were
Jeremy and Caroline.
The Oracle in here.
It is hard to be an Oracle in 2024.
Sure.
We've
Especially
seen it a
when
lot
it's
on
exclusively limited to products of the CW.
When I just channel all my energy into CW products.
Yeah.
How'd this episode do ya?
I was hooting and hollering.
Same.
Can I just say, Katherine fucking slays. Fucking rips.
This is...
I am so into this.
I'm never not going to be a fan of Katherine. Even if she eventually, like, becomes a bad person who, like, finds out what Reddit is.
Sure.
She is really important to me.
Yeah, you can't make me hate her. I'm sorry.
You
can't.
She's...
And listen, Elena pisses me off sometimes, but she's trying her best. But Catherine's got the fucking sauce, okay?
And Katherine doesn't have the straight iron. She's got the curlers.
Right.
So she's
got her curls out. Yeah, and that gives her at least 10 points of charisma right there. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That is... It's a whole different thing.
If you're able to keep full ringlets... I mean, they're not. They're blown out a little bit. But, like, in... Theoretically, a Virginia summer, then you can't be beat. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. It's impeccable. What is astounding to me about this episode and Nina Dobrev's performance in general of the two,
Nina.
thank you for your service, first of all,
Literally.
is she has so much more chemistry with Stefan /
It's
Paul
fucked up.
when she is playing Katherine. It's bananas.
I
was
don't
like,
know
where
how
was
she
this?
turns it on,
Yeah.
but I do not ship Elena and Stefan. I like Katherine and Stefan.
Yeah. I was like, is she just so has the ick to him? Because we knew, like, going into this, they were, like, not on good feet with each other, you know?
Correct.
So I'm like, maybe the vibes are bad, but it's like, no, you had this in your Rolodex this whole time, and you just whipped it out for Katherine. I love that. That's honestly such a slay. Because, like, I'm into
And
it.
it only reaffirms what we were worried about at the jump, that Stefan sought out Elena because he misses Katherine.
Right. Even though he kept being like, no, babe, don't even worry about it. I swear.
I just have an altar to Katherine in my huge mansion, but don't worry about it.
Right, but, like, it's chill, though, right? Like, it's in a chill, cool way.
Yeah,
you
because,
know?
like, I'm over her. I hate her.
I actually hate her really bad. Also, sidebar, I know this is, like, a thing that happens because it's more of, like, a point because they're not, like, killing each other, right? But
Yeah.
Stefan has, like, some sick, twisted perversion with getting stabbed in the abdomen.
He loves it.
He's
And I
kind
think
of
that we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
He,
Like, I think it turns him on. Because it happens every time. It's happened, like, what, 3 times now at this point?
for the person who's making our TVD watch bingo, one of the squares has to be Stefan getting stabbed in the abdomen.
Right, yeah. And honestly, him kind of, like, having a sexy little moan after it. Like, he's
God.
into it, you know?
He's like, no, stop.
yeah,
Don't
please
do
don't
that.
stab me in the abdomen. It hurts so bad. Unless...
You can. Like, I'll die.
Like, what if it's so close to my heart, but not close enough? Like...
It shocks me that he got that rose tattoo on his arm and not on his belly. Because
Right.
you know, like, that, like, 3-hour process of him getting routinely stabbed with needles, he would have loved it.
Yeah, for real.
It's Stefan. Hey.
Yeah. Buddy, we
You
can
can
talk
just
about this.
you can just communicate your kinks to your partner. You don't have to
Yeah.
piss them off so that they
Right.
stab you.
Yeah. It's okay. Just communication, bud. That's all it is.
Yeah. It is. I think both things are true. I think that he loves to be stabbed and also he doesn't want to be alive anymore. And so he's
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh no.
That's the 1-2 punch right there. It's like, what
Right,
if I
exactly.
just get rid of both of these with one stone.
How do I just fucking min-max this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Katherine for multiple reasons. I love that she is just bad. We don't have redeeming qualities, and I think that's powerful.
And I don't need them. I still love
And I don't need them.
I don't want them.
Arguably, please don't give them to me.
Yeah, don't make me want to like her. I already do, and I don't need
Because if we like her, she'll die, and I just need her to be bad.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep her on forever. I love her curls. I love that she's in the stereotypical bad person leather jacket. I think that that's great.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very powerful of her to not know anything about Elena, but think that she's fully confident to just go into a situation and people will tell her the lore she needs. And she's right, because they do.
Right, yeah. She's just like, everyone's pretty easy to manipulate and talk to, and I can just get whatever I want. And everyone's like, no, but you can't, though. And she's like, I'm doing that right now, though. So
I'll literally
you're
kill
also...
you if you
Yeah,
say
I'll
I can't,
kill
so.
all of you. So fuck with me.
There were... Okay. This is weirdly a compliment to the writing team. Because usually they just let these, like, issues lie. And they don't do anything to, like, reprimand them. They said last episode, in the finale, mind you, that Jenna was in the house. It seemed like, based on the words that she said to John, that she was not going out. She was like, oh, I'm going to go fucking check the garage or some shit.
Right.
In this episode, they say the reason that she's not in the house is because she had to go to the fire department?
Right, yeah. As you do.
And she was like, obviously, Elena, I told you that. Girl, when?
Yeah, what? What are you talking about?
We did
You
that
do not
happen.
talk with these children in your home, these minors.
No, you were just letting, like, multiple deaths happen, and you were gone.
Yeah.
So...
But sure, check out the fire department.
Sure, you were at the fire department. Okay,
Right.
Jenna. Yeah. Also, I thought John was gonzo last episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was a series wrap
right.
on John.
Yeah, I thought we were like, okay, thanks for playing. You had a good run, but you are for sure done. And no, it was just like, let me just cut off your fingers. And then you just be like really dramatically in the hospital bed, like, fuck you, Katherine. Ah.
And that's why I love Katherine, because the ring was only on one finger. Notably, rings,
No.
they don't usually go on multiple fingers. She cut the nubs off of everything but his thumb.
Yeah. So twisted. So twisted.
When you know that you're a vampire and your dex skills are, like, super strong, but she was like, yeah, I'm gonna just cut them all off, because fuck you.
Right.
Can we talk about how Stefan is, like, doing his I'm on human blood, I'm rude thing this episode?
Yeah, he has been a little testy.
He is, like, growling at people. He's like a chihuahua that's growling at people. It's a menace.
Yeah. His temper is off the charts this episode.
But it's
and
weirdly
granted,
selective.
Right, it is selective. And also, granted, this episode did start with Damon being like, haha, I kissed Katherine thinking it was Elena. This is not going to be a problem for us moving forward. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so Homeboy's pissed, you know? Even though Elena sillily is like, I would never. I can't believe you would think I would do that. I would never. I love you, Stefan. And it's like, yawn.
I was very worried in that scene. One, because I thought that Stefan was... Because his anger is very selective in this episode in the sense that, like, he directs it all at John, who's deserving of it.
Right.
But then he tells Damon, hey, for once, let's not fight with each other, because that's exactly what Katherine wants.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't, but I do want to beat you to a pulp.
Right. And I am going to hold on to this anger in a very physical way.
I'm going to save it for later.
Yeah, put it in my bank right now. Yeah.
What I was worried about in this episode, because that came up a couple of times, I was worried they were going to pull a Bella and have Elena be like, oh no, don't fight for me, but actually fight for me. Yeah. And she really does stick to her guns of like, no, Damon, I love Stefan.
Yeah.
So good on her, I guess.
Right. She's holding on to her convictions, you know, which she'll come around.
They're wrong.
You
know? They're wrong, but I'm proud of you.
Right. They're wrong convictions, but I appreciate her for sticking to it. Commitment. You know what I mean?
And this episode really does solidify, like, Damon's not a good person, but I do love him, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, he sucks for sure. But he gets a little territorial. He gets a little jealous. Gets a little hurt.
Ian is at his best when he is surrounded by women.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
And I think that that's powerful because he does not discriminate. He's like, as long as there's a woman in front of me, I will be acting as if rent is due.
Yeah, right.
Because he does it.
He
does it with Bonnie in this episode, and we had talked about this last week that they had some like tension, and it got stronger here, and I think that that's beautiful. Of like, Bonnie shows that she can give people like a brain freeze moment.
Yeah.
And using it on him is great. So thank you.
Right. And I want more of that.
He does it with Elena and he does it with Katherine. This man just loves to love.
Yeah. He has so much room in his heart for love. And he keeps getting the 1-2 punch of, no, it's going to be Stefan, baby. It's always been Stefan.
The timing of that is not Elena's fault.
Yeah. No, of course not.
It's not, but also, damn.
Yeah, I mean, the writers and editors were sick and twisted for that cutaway of it being first Katherine. It'd be like, it was I never loved you. It was always Stefan. Bitch, mic drop. It's like, fuck. All right, there goes 150 years of my life that I was spent
No, literally.
Focused on a person. Cool. Just good to know. Thank you for checking in with me and letting me know. And then be like, okay, Elena, what's up, girl? We had something going on. How you doing? And she's like, no, it's always going to be Stefan. And he's like, fuck, I can't get a fucking dub over here. I can't get anyone to love my sick and twisted heart.
Damon all L's Salvatore.
All L's. He's L's all day.
I know this is the end of the episode, so everyone shut up. We don't go in
Right.
chronological order.
Right.
That like 10 minutes killed me because one, to see Damon and Katherine go from like literally enemies to lovers, like a hate
Right.
fuck is still real.
Right.
That was very powerful. But the way that happened, because you could see the light in his eyes of, he even says, I wrote this down because it killed me so much. He was like, I'll forget the last 100. Fuck you, Mike. There's a motorcycle coming by. Don't ruin this for me, Jacob.
This is an important moment. Okay.
He even says, he's like, I'll forget the last 145 years of missing you. He's a lover boy.
I'm gonna kill this man, I swear to God. I'm gonna find him and kill him.
He's not literally, but he's like emotionally on his knees begging Katherine. He's like, I just need the truth just once. And for her to be like, I'm gonna cut you off there.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna ask me, and I know what the answer is.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed because I was like really getting into, I was gonna have sex with you, but now you want to ask like, what are we?
Right. Now I'm a little, ooh, yikes, but a little too into me, buddy. A little too much, too fast.
I was already dead and gone because that was a really painful scene to watch happen. Yeah. But then the writers were like, hey, what if we just play Sarah Bareilles?
Great.
Just in case you weren't clear of like how down bad Damon is right now, let's just put One Republic featuring Sarah Bareilles on your radar. What the fuck?
It's sick and twisted.
It is, because they did the recap. Like, it was like a whole season recap, which I love CW for doing that. You saw when he kissed Katherine, that Katherine like raised her eyebrows before she kissed him back. And in this, when we actually see it happen to Elena, he has like his hand on her neck and she grabs it and pulls it off. Which, first of all, don't lie to yourself. You do want him to kiss you.
Yeah.
You're just trying to not have a throuple with two siblings.
Right. Which, like, fair enough,
It could
but
be
also
real,
be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself. And also be real. And third of all, this could actually be a real love triangle. Everyone always liked to say this in the 2010s, but they weren't love triangles. This one could be. They do all love each other.
Right.
You just have to get into the morals of siblings.
Right. Yeah. But it's on the table.
It is. Damon has made it so clear that it is on the table.
It's never been more down.
He is pushing it towards you on the table, in fact.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God.
It kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me when because he's very obviously drunk in this moment. He's like, no, I'm not drunk. I'm totally fine.
Yeah, I'm so good and so in the right mind right now.
You are lying to yourself, Elena. You're lying to yourself. And she is.
Right. Like, he's not wrong, but he's not really giving a compelling argument because of the state he's in and the emotions tied to it. So.
Right, but he shouldn't have said it, and he shouldn't be in her room because she didn't ask him to be.
Yeah.
So I understand. Speaking of making bad decisions when you're drunk, can we talk about that Jersey Shore drop? It caught me off guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is appropriate that, like, when Caroline wakes up, she is watching Jersey Shore, because what else would be on?
Yeah, I mean, it's of the times, and it's also very
she's been busy the last couple weeks. Right. She needs to catch up on her shows.
Right.
And if she has to do it in the hospital, then that's fine.
Right. She's got a lot to catch. She's probably, there's a lot of drama, a lot of storyline she's missed out on her program.
In season 1, absolutely. She hasn't even gotten to, like, Ronnie and Sam.
Right, yeah, there's so much ahead of her.
Everyone still hates the situation before they kind of like him, and then they go back to hating him again. She has a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
So, I understand.
Oh, goodness.
Why do we have another uncle?
Dude, I'm so... This show is just...
Can we catch a break?
You know what I mean? It's like, what if we need to shake things up a little bit? What do we have? Just another guy. Throw him
Just
in there.
another
Another uncle.
Huntington Beach surfer bro.
Yeah.
Kind of guy.
Right.
Okay?
Like, sure. Thank you.
You're supposed to be a plot device. You're supposed to tell us what the fuck is the Lockwood Steel, but you just keep referring to it as a curse.
Right. And that's not
it.
Really helpful.
It's helpful to no one because I don't care about Tyler. Stop trying to make it happen.
Right.
The only thing that's interesting is that he got, he could hear the whistle. And if you're not going to tell me what that is, Mason, then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're useless to me now. You're just going to kick out Jeremy when he's trying to just, like, bond with Tyler over having dead fathers.
They were having a whole dead dad moment, and he came in
nice.
like a wet blanket.
Yeah, it was just like, don't you got somewhere to be, buddy boy? And it's like, okay.
And he doesn't, because he doesn't have parents.
No, he doesn't have parents, he doesn't have friends. He's trying to have a human connection and a moment right now. The first he's had in a long time, in a genuine way. And because everyone keeps getting ripped away from him, very deliberately. So give him a fucking break, man. Let him have a little heart bro moment, okay?
Jeremy, this episode felt rude to me as a Jeremy fan.
As a fan of Jeremy. As a noted fan of Jeremy.
It's everything that he's in this episode is painful.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up across the board.
Like, he's sad at the beginning that he didn't get Romeo'd.
Yeah, he's like, man, I thought that would have worked. Damn it.
This is why I was worried about Stefan, because he doesn't only just go off on John, he slapped Jeremy.
Yeah, what's up with that?
You can't. I know
he looks like an adult man, but he's a baby. He's baby boy, you know?
I know he's the same size as you, Stefan, but he's supposed to be canonically 15.
Give him a break.
You can't slap a minor.
Baby. Yeah. Come on now.
It hurt me that he was like, damn, I didn't get Romeo'd in this. That's a bummer. The only thing that will help is if I just go bond with my enemy about having dead dads.
Right. Maybe this will fix me.
And then someone's like, oh, you can't actually drink out of the Lockwood flask. Go away.
Right. You haven't earned it. Little bitch.
No, literally, Mason was like, get the fuck out of it. Like, you suck. And he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't suck. I knew. I assumed after the conversation with him and John in the kitchen that John gave him the ring. Yeah. But it was still horrifying to see Damon be like, I can't handle these feelings. The only appropriate thing, Elena, to get back at you for not loving me is to snap your brother's neck.
In front of you.
In front of you.
Very deliberately.
When you don't know that he has a I'll survive ring on.
I will survive.
That's actually what's branded in the inside in Italian. Is it says it's the Survivor lyrics by Destiny Child.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you seal a ritual. It hurt just as much when it happened to Rick. Like, Damon, why is your go-to to snap people's necks?
Right. Like, it's a little gruesome, you know? Like, I know it is, like, allegedly quick and painless if you're a vampire or whatever, but, like, still pretty brutal, right? Like, still still a lot, you know? And it's, like, visibly upsetting, especially there's a witness who is his sister.
True.
Who you love.
And it's like, not guaranteed that it will be mess-free. If Damon's like, oh, I'm just going to do this the clean way. Right. No.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Right.
My worry is... So Jeremy obviously wakes up because they died.
It's also so funny when he wakes up because like Stefan's there. It's like, oh my god, are you okay?
Are you gonna slap me again? Like,
right, yeah. And Elena's sobbing, obviously. And like when Jeremy wakes up, he's pretty much just like, oh man, that bitch tried to kill me. It's like so good.
This kid cannot be phased. Because he has so many bad things happen to him that he's like, this doesn't surprise me anymore.
Right, like this is just a Thursday, you know? It's just my life now.
I thought John just wore that ring and like pretended it was like actually a mood ring, but he was like, no, this keeps me alive. Right. And then it fucking works. So what do I got to do with that now?
Right.
That conversation, by the way, with him and John, because that's after Stefan does the like, you need to get out of here immediately or I'll kill you myself.
Yeah.
Thing. And again, not wrong, but Stefan, chill the fuck out. You're in a hospital.
Yeah. Come on, man.
It was sad that John, like Jeremy still holds so much esteem for his father that when John was like, yeah, your dad had a ring like this too. Like he also, I mean, he was on the fucking council. Like he doesn't want vampires to exist either. And poor Jeremy being like, oh, I don't believe in all that family legacy stuff. Sir? Honey, open your eyes. You need to learn right now. It's very painful and I don't like it. How did you feel about Bonnie?
Oh my goodness. Bonnie, my sweet summer child.
Also going through it this episode.
Also, yeah, really having a rough go at it and really figuring out like, oh, there's like a lot of stuff about magic that I don't know.
Yeah.
How to do. And now like the one person I had to kind of teach me that is not here. So that blows. That's really, it's a bummer. It's a major bummer.
Because you know when Katherine was looking at her that she only saw Emily. And that's really painful for Bonnie to know.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
Ugh, God, I hate it. And
Bonnie's
even,
trying so hard to be lawful. Right. Of like, vampires exist on a binary. Either they're okay or they're not okay. And she's very much solidified herself in the not okay space.
Right.
Except when it comes to Caroline.
Yeah.
And that's love.
She loves her so much. It's so fucked up.
The fact that she was like, Damon, you gotta do this. I don't care what Elena says. You gotta... And also, because nobody wants Damon around Caroline, right? Notably.
No.
But you gotta do it. And then she was crying when Caroline woke up. Goodbye.
Yeah, enough. I can't. I cannot.
It hurt me a lot. So thank you for that. And also the fact that like she's definitely growing in her powers because we see that she gives that brain freeze to Damon. She flies open the doors when Katherine was very much going to kill her.
Yes.
But she's very much out of her comfort zone because what do you mean she has to deal with a doppelganger of her best friend?
Yeah, like, hasn't she been through enough, you know?
And she has, notably.
Can't you just have a normal day for the love of God?
And apparently not. That whole wake situation was super interesting because not only did we have the like, Jared, get out, this is a Lockwood's only room.
Right.
And Bonnie and Katherine, but that was all Katherine and Stefan. That moment when they're in the house before she goes and stabs him outside, there's Nina Dobrev is looking at Paul like she is undressing him with her eyes. And I think that's beautiful.
And I love that for her, honestly.
And I think it's a testament to her that I don't even think of Katherine as being Nina.
Right.
I only am like, oh, well, Nina's Elena.
Right, yeah. Katherine is her own entity. She's transcended.
Right. Very much like the Lindsay Lohan, The Parent Trap. It's a whole other person, actually.
Right, yes. Yeah, that's how it works.
You have to imagine for Nina that, like, this script and even last episode with a little bit of Katherine has to be so much more fun than being Elena.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. She gets to have a little fun in a space, you know? She never gets to do that as Elena.
She's, like, fully powerful. She can do whatever she wants. That has to be far more enjoyable than being Elena, where, like, things just happen to her. Why? So Katherine can just, like, cross thresholds.
Right.
Is it that she had been into the Lockwoods already because that existed 145 years ago, even though the Gilbert's house didn't? Or is it because Elena had already been invited and therefore it didn't apply to her?
Ooh, yeah.
Why don't they tell us lore?
Right. I am interested, you know, and it makes things a little less confusing, you know? Really helps me out.
Because she seemingly... Here's the thing. I'm not sure if it's because last episode Jenna told Elena, in quotes, to come in, and that was enough for Katherine to be like, oh, dope, I'll kill everyone in this house.
Right.
But I don't remember that happening with the Lockwoods. I remember Tyler distinctly shaking Catherine's hand, but I don't remember, because he was outside on the porch, I don't remember him being like, go enjoy everyone or whatever. Does it have to be the words of like, you're invited or come on in, or can it just be a vague nod or something? Can someone tell? Is there lore? Can someone tell us, please?
Can someone please help me out here?
We had mentioned earlier about Sarah Bareilles. Did you happen to look at the music in this episode?
Well, first of all, I had a visceral reaction to the 2 piano covers that were in
the
this
fucking off-brand vitamin string quartet that they have.
Yeah,
here.
Shout out to the piano tribute players or whatever.
Thank you
for doing
service.
Both the script and the fray in here. That was a true, like, I was beside myself and like levitating out of my body in that moment.
I told you point blank weeks ago that when they played the script, I was going to be done, and god damn if it didn't work.
Right, I'm still here.
They didn't need to do strike 1, strike 2, you're out with the fray, the script, and then One Republic and Sarah Bareilles. What's your damage?
Yeah, what's your fucking problem? What's going on?
Why do you think it's appropriate, CW Music Department, to put How to Save a Life piano version underneath Damon and Bonnie talking? You've made the fan vid for them.
Right. You've already made a fan cam. Oh.
It's painful and makes me worried that this is going to continue to happen in season 2.
I feel like season 2 they just discovered that, like, oh, we can get piano covers and instrumental covers of songs that people like, and we can just use that to emotionally terrorize them more than we ever have before.
It's working. So congrats.
Right, you did it. Thank you.
Are you happy with yourself?
Oh my goodness.
Because it's very painful. What do you think? And I think that this goes back to what I was saying last week about Caroline. I do think that she's a vampire by the end of this.
Yes, I believe so. Because she had Damon's blood, like, in her system.
It felt notable to me last week, but it felt explicit this week. Because she didn't need a top-up of Damon's blood. She's had enough.
Right, that is also true. She has had a lot historically.
Right. But I didn't expect it to be Katherine who was using Caroline as a pawn.
Right.
That's not what I expected.
Because that, it just made me, like, I love that in my heart of hearts that Catherine's plan is just to, like, fuck around and find out and, like, just make people's lives miserable. But I do know she has a plan.
Pilot of season 1. Because that was Damon's whole deal.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And so this moment was like, okay, she definitely has an agenda that is not solely, get back with Stefan, right? 'Cause that's not the tea. But, like, this feels like an interesting move of, like, okay, what does she want?
I'm so scared.
Yeah. Like, what is her? And that she's not going to leave without, but it's like, you're already recruiting folks? Like, what's going on, babe? What are we doing? What's the plan?
Especially when she looked at Stefan and Damon and told them to their face, I don't have a plan. If I did, I would tell you.
Right.
But she very clearly does, because when you don't just tell someone game on and then suffocate them with a hospital pillow.
Right. Pretty brutal. You don't just do that on a whim, you know? It's like, this could
No.
be a fun just activity I do.
Yeah, maybe that's just what she does for fun. Who's to say?
Yeah. Well, God forbid a woman have hobbies, you know?
Right. I hope that that's true. I hope that Caroline is a vampire now, because I'm so tired of her being used as a pawn for people.
Right. Yeah, hopefully this is the nail in the coffin, so to speak, of her just being used and abused by everyone around her, because it's easier for them than to talk about the things they want to talk about or do the things they want to do.
I would be super interested in seeing a Katherine, Caroline vampire adventures.
Oh my god.
That
yes. Thelma and Louise. Let's go.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Caroline doesn't need to be a good person.
Right.
It doesn't have to happen. But yeah, by the way that this ended, I'm scared of what her whole deal is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm excited.
And
but
like,
I'm very scared.
I mean, when we've done flashbacks of her in the past, she just wanted to vibe. She was like, oh, this is my new place. I'm not going to let them kick me out. But if she's had like an ulterior motive this whole time, I'm not okay with that. Yeah. I just want to know. Just what is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because next week, the main preview that we have is called Brave New World. So first of all, slow your roll. Is
Aldous Huxley has entered the chat.
Is Stefan arm wrestling, I think, Mason? I think the uncle?
Yeah.
And why? It looks like he's in a school. Why? Hello? There's no learning to be done in this place. Only hijinks.
Absolutely.
Can someone just tell me so I don't get my hopes up? Is season 2, does it have more of Tyler? Or is it just we find out the lore and then he's gone?
And then we don't need him anymore.
If you could just temper my reactions, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have a very exciting news for you, which is that we have amazing patrons to thank. Do you want to start us off?
Incredible news. I love to hear this. Yes,
That's great
absolutely. Thank you to Maya Bennett.
Ooh. Thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Thank you to Katya Cart.
Ow. Thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ow. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
And last but certainly not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh. I am sorry. First of all.
Okay.
I need to couch this fan fiction in and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is by the author Sindra Ray. It is titled Unloved.
Okay.
And this was published in September of 2010, so right after the premiere. The summary is, there's something unlovable about Damon Salvatore and he knows. It says post season 2 episode 1.
Jeez Louise.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm also not.
Sick and twisted.
I love Stefan. It was always Stefan. 145 years he'd waited for this cursed reunion, this defining moment, for Katherine to be in his arms again, telling her how much he loved her, missed her, only to have her rip his heart out, and with it every last shred of hope he had desperately clung to for 145 years. Elena, cheap imitation that she was, he didn't really mean that, didn't disappoint either, echoing the sordid soundtrack of his undead life pretty much word for word. Katherine was the past he never had. Elena was the future he'd never know. Being him sucked. Less human than human, less vampire than vampire, stuck in the middle with nowhere to belong, no one to love, nothing but rage and regret and unquenchable bloodthirst for company. It needed to end, and it had to start with breaking the threadbare bonds of emotion that still held him to Mystic Falls. Jeremy was just collateral damage. Let the kid wake up to realize the utter disillusionment of it all. Suffer it like he does every single damn day of his undead life. Let Jeremy wake up to become a vengeful, heartless reminder of his miserable existence. A bittersweet thorn in Elena's side so she would never forget what she did to him. What her rejection did to him. I love Stefan. It's always going to be Stefan. Unlovable, remember? He was surprised he was even surprised. Next stop, Katherine. She needed a reminder of his god-awful existence too. Couldn't let the bitch forget him again for the next 150 years. Besides, she was the only one he knew who cared remotely enough to drive a stake through his heart. On scene.
Woof.
I'm literally like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, Sindra Ray, cool it.
Yeah.
Chill.
You have incredible powers, but it is I'm scared of them, you know?
You need to channel Batman and use those responsibly, okay? Cool it.
Yeah.
But if I suffer, y'all have to suffer too. So I guess that Damon and I have that in common. I'm very excited for next week. This is a great time to get your friends on board if they want to relive 2010 in a good way. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
Get bit.
ooh.
Ow.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.